Welcome back to our new Anno 1800 series. We're playing with crazy mods and a custom map. All of the AIs are a lot stronger, we have a lot of new ships like submarines or aircraft carriers, and we also have new tiers of population. And finally I created myself a custom map to make sure that we have a unique experience. I've pinned the list of all of the mods in the Anno 1800 channel of my Discord. Don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see the link to join the community. And of course in the video description below you can also find the link to the playlist with all of the episodes for this series if you want to make sure that you start from scratch. Let's go back to our empire and welcome to episode 23, where we have our submarine lurking around in the harbor of Princess Queen. On top of the fact that she has many weapons, was quite scary. If you look at our artillery over here, it basically is in range of my island. She can attack my island right away. So if we get at war, I think this definitely needs to be the first island that we attack. But actually today we're not gonna focus that much on the old world, we're going to focus a bit more on the new world. I wanted to make sure that we had a lot more artista to unlock all of the productions needed, but also start making some airships. And with that there's also a couple of other surprises like commuter piers in the new world. One of the reasons I wanted to do that was to be able to provide all of the needs for our population in the old world. Remember, right now we are producing all of the needs in terms of basic need and happiness for workers, but we are missing the hot sauce. So that comes from the new world. We're going to make it. Similarly for the farmers, we were missing sugar, that's easy, but we need to bring it from the new world. And it's the same for my main island over here. For example, the artisan, they need the perfume and the scooters from the new world. My engineers, they want even more. They want chocolates, they want mezcal, ice cream and medicine. And lastly, our investors, they want some perfume, some fans and some film rims, a lot of different things. On top of that, I do want to bring the cigars and the chocolate, so that then we only need the steam carriages to be able to move into skyscrapers for investors. So let's move to the new world. So here it is, the new corner over here. You can see we have one sugar refinery, staking some sugar cane. We're already making tons of sugar cane for the rum, so that was easy. But we have this one to bring the sugar to our farmers. And then we have a lot of those Hacienda hot sauce factory. We actually have 6, if I'm not mistaken, 4 over here and 2 over here, to transform the spices into hot sauce. And the spices are just over here, the spice farms, the Hacienda spice farms. These are basic. I didn't put anything like fertilizer, silo or tractor barn for now. And this small corner is enough to feed all of the farmers and all of the workers that we have in the old world. So that's done. And the last thing needed was of course to make a small trade route, as you can see over here. Right, this one is going to transport already some hot sauce and some sugar, perfect. Then I wanted to move into the airship. So we have two things. We have the rigid airship hangar. You may remember we didn't activate the passage DLC, so we cannot make airships in the Arctic, but we can actually now do it in the new world. With this building over here, it does require aluminium, so that's one of the new resources. And then we also have the airship platform. So first things first, we need to make aluminium. This is taking one of the new mines. This is bauxite. Don't worry if you already have a game and you're wondering, oh, wait, I didn't have bauxite at the beginning. As soon as you buy this DLC, bauxite mine are going to appear in your new world, so you don't need to restart. This is actually also quite an easy mine because it takes only jornaleros, it's not obreros or artista, and it has a production cycle of 10 seconds. So in 1 minute you produce 6, it's a lot. And then you add to that some coal. You don't have coal mine over here in the new world, so you can either bring coal from the old world or you can build charcoal kiln directly. That's what I did over here. See, 4 charcoal kiln, that's a lot, all good. We're making tons. This is also because my aluminium is now full. So with this aluminium, I was able to build, one of those foundations. You can build it. It's like a monument. It has 4 phases. So each phase, will require some resources, some people and a bit of time. I have actually already built one, it's ready, so we can finalize it all together. Last phase, and here it is. Now we have access to all of those new airships. With the Arctic we only had one, now we have many. And we have some that have weapons. It's those two over here. You can see, the small ammunition at the bottom corner. This means it is armed, but this is only going to shoot down other airships. It's not going to attack your cities with those weapons. All of these airships will require some aluminium that we just saw. Then they will require gas, either the gas that you have in the Arctic or the new gas from the New World. We're going to talk about it, the helium. And then lastly, some of them will require sails, others will require steam motors, and then of course for the ones that are armed, they will also require weapons. They have different speeds, different types of cargo. For example, this one is 3 cargo slots, this one is 8 cargo slots. So choose what is best for you. Right now I'm thinking mostly of creating some RPs to deliver the mail between my different cities. So let's bring some sails from the old world. We had tons of them, so that's not a problem. So let's build our first one. And while this is happening, let me show you what I want to use it for. And this is the second building, the airship platform, which you can see over here. This airship platform over here is similar to your large trading post that you have over here. You can see all of your resources, you can see all of your items, but more importantly, if you click over here, you have 3 modules. The first one is the item transfer depot. Basically, if you put any item over here, I don't know if I have any, for example, let's put here, this guy, it takes, a few seconds for it to be there. Any other island that has, one of those airships with one of those item transfer depot, I can pick it up immediately. So you don't have to transport them with your ships anymore. Then we have a commuter station. This is basically a commuter pier between your island. As you can see now, this is connected. I'll show you connected to one in a second. But first, the last one is the airmail sorting office. We have a lot of local mail. I'll show you in a second how we are building it. But then we can also get some regional mail and some overseas mail. Regional mail basically means that being transported between 2 islands in the same region. So for example, in the New World, versus overseas mail is between different regions. So between the Old World and the New World, for example. We're gonna do it all. So as I said, for your items or to transport the mail, you obviously need a second. So I made sure to build the same on the other island that we have over here. It is, we have airship platform with the same things. And as you can see on this island, we also have the items available where you can right click on it, and now it is on this island. It is now available over here on this island. Then similarly, we have the airmail sorting office, right? I'm also producing locally some mail. We'll be able to start trading it. And last but not least, the commuter station. So we have, you can see all of this is linked now, similar to if you were in the old world. So because of that, I've done basically the same thing we did in the old world, which is to start specializing my island. This island is going to be Jornaleros and Obreros only, while Manolana is only Artista. There's nothing else, and we still have all of our productions thanks to the commuter pier, right? But so obviously a lot of Artista, and therefore thanks to this, we have unlocked a lot of the production. You can see even the scooters, which is 6,000 Artista. I don't know how many we have, actually just 6,100 as you can see. We have also unlocked several over here on the happiness, but we haven't unlocked them all. There is over here in the lifestyle need, we need 9,500 investors to unlock this one. You may have realized though this island over here is unhappy. These artists are not very happy because we're not giving them a lot of things. We're giving them beer and cigars and the boxing area, but not the ice cream, not the cinema, and not the Samba school. All new buildings you may not have seen before. What's really cool for those services like the cinema, it's actually a production chain. It's not just one building. You still need to put the building, for example, the cinema. Actually, I just realized I didn't really leave any space, so we'll have to kill some houses or move some houses, and let's build the cinema. So it is a building, right? You do still need to build it, but on top of this, it needs something to give us, the effect, to give us the public services. If I look over here, I still don't have the impact, right? So I need to produce those film reels, which are, to be honest, are not that easy. We need quite a few things to build it. And it's the same for the Samba school over here, right? You need the building, but you also need quite a few things. And you also need some artista to maintain it. I did start to provide something, which is the beach, because this one is an easy one. It's just one building. You can see it over here. It's over there, right? You build this main public service. So we have a beach. It's pretty cool. You can see it looking good. People are enjoying their good life over here. And there's a really interesting mechanic over here is like all buildings, it has a range. If we look over here, this one, 100% is perfect. If I look over here, this is 0. If I look over here, I have 25%, right? But there's a way to extend that range. You extend that range by basically making the beach bigger. So we're gonna do that together. I'm adding a couple of those houses. I know it's probably not very pretty to do it like this. I'm putting, the beach also, some sand, let's say, over here. That's cool. We can have maybe an ice cream parlor. We can have some small umbrellas. We need more sand. Cool. So, we've just added a couple of things, right? Obviously over here, this is still 100%, but let's look a bit more over there. This used to be around 25, now it is 100. Look about this one, also 100, and it was 0% before. So I think we're now pretty much at 100% everywhere. That's a really cool mechanic. I like that a lot. Obviously, again, you can make that a lot prettier, but just wanted to show you the mechanic. Now, I did promise earlier to show you about the helium and the mail. So let's talk first about the helium. You can find it over here next to the airship. Makes sense. And it is an interesting one because the end building, you need to put it on the mine. This is a normal mine. I have a couple, so let me show you. For example, over here, we have the helium pocket. So we need to build the mine on it. But the mine actually needs some resources to function. So once again, I feel like with this DLC, they've really added some interesting elements. So as I said, you need two things. You need the clay. That's not too hard. There's a clay over here, for example. You can just build it and it will go right into it. And then you need the industrial lubricant. Another one that's pretty interesting. I actually didn't make it on this island. I made it on this one. So let's go over here. And this is this one over there. So if I try to build it, you will see there is a range or number of trees percentage, similar to when you're building a lumberjack hut. So you can't build it, in the middle of a city. That's not gonna work, 30%. You can, but you're gonna have 30% productivity, so that's not great. So, you have to place it like your trees a bit apart from each other. Then it's going to start planting trees around, but it also needs resources. So it's like you need space, you need trees, but you also need resources. You need the fish oil and you need the salpetre. You can actually make salpetre in a new world now. I'll show you maybe later or in the next episode. But for now, I decided to just put it in the old world. So I made a new island just for that. It's over here. We had this island, we aren't doing anything. I built a couple of those salpetre works, right? We have 100 workforce for free. So I built 4 because each is 25. When we get more workforce in the future, we can also build a few more. I have over here a harbor master office with a couple of items which are making this one work quite a lot, 300%. So with that, we are making enough salpetre for our helium. Then I have this route over here that's starting in the old world, taking the salpetre, delivering it into my first island in the new world. Then it's taking the industrial lubricant and then delivering over here. I know I could have put this over here, but then you need to make sure that you drop this, and I didn't want to do that. So that's why I made it like this. We'll see in the future if we optimize that. So that's for the helium that we need to build more and more of those airships. But what about the mail, right? I said I want to start transporting this mail. Where is this mail coming from? In your Obreros tab over here, you have the postal services with 2 buildings, the post office and the post box. Each of them will cost you some Obreros to maintain, will also take a bit of aluminium. So another reason to make sure you build some aluminium. And similar to many buildings in Anno, you have a range, right? You can see this pink circle, and you cannot put 2 in the same circle, right? But you can put them next to each other, like something like this. That will work. And then the production in terms of how many mails you're producing is linked to how many residences or residents you have in this area. For example, over here, it says I have more than 3,000 residents for this post office. So we have a productivity of 645. Over here, I have a small post box. There is only 280, so the productivity is only 42%, for example. But as you can see, we have a pretty good coverage, right? We have the post office covering over here, box over here, one there, one there. So we're covering pretty much the whole island in terms of our population. And therefore with that, we're producing quite a bit of mail. Those numbers are sometimes a bit strange, but you can also see that basically my storage of mail is always full, which means we're producing enough. Similarly for second island, we have 2 post office over here, and then a couple of those mailbox on the corner to make sure we catch almost all of our population. And so now that we have our first RPs over there, we can start making an airship route. It could also be used to transport normal resources, but in this case, we're gonna make airship, where I want to transport like this. You're going to take some mail and you're going to deliver it here. Then you're gonna take some mail and you're going to deliver it here. We only have 2. Once again, I could also do like this. That will work. I'm not gonna do that because I think 100 is way too much for what we need. So we're gonna do it like this, just to make it a bit clean. For now, I'm not going to put it into a group, just so that we can see it. Let's actually follow this one. Here it goes. It's full of postcards and mail, love letters and all this. There are a lot of other airships in the sky. As you can see, my enemies have developed quite a fleet. I mean, they have quite an army regardless, so on sea and on air. But yeah, this one is arriving. Let's accelerate. And here we are in our second island. As you can see, we have 50 mail that is going there. So let's click on the mail sorting, which is over there. Okay, great. We've delivered 50 regional mail now, and we've also taken 100 new mail that's going to be sent in the other island. So now what we can do is in lifestyle need, we can start giving some of these, right? And they also obviously don't give the same. The local mail, in this case, 4 obreros, 2 coins. This one, 5 obreros, 5 coins, because this one requires you to transport it, right? So it's more valuable. And obviously this one even more, 7 and 10. So let's start giving everything, and hopefully we'll see if we're producing enough. To be honest, if you know what those numbers mean over here, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below. I feel like for all resources, I understand it very well. For the mail, I don't know what that means. Like we have 29 over here and then only 12. I don't know what that means. I don't know if we're producing 29 or if we're producing 12. Seems we're consuming 8. It probably doesn't account for what we're transporting, and we can't really choose how much we're transporting. So, the mail is definitely not a very easy thing to optimize fully, but we're gonna try. One thing worth noting is, my island over here has 450 of storage. But for the mail, it's actually a different storage. It's 105 over here. This has nothing to do with the island storage. This is just linked to, this building, the airmail sorting office gives you 10. Then this one gives you, I don't remember how much, 50. And then this one gives you probably not a lot at all, like 15. So what you may want to do, if you have at least the obreros to do that, is to build a couple more to just increase that storage. Especially if you really want to be able to optimize, you want to make sure that you actually have enough to transport, because now we've moved over to 205, so that's easier. One big problem is you cannot put minimum stock. If you click on it, it gets you to the transport and you cannot see it over here. So that's a bit annoying. So again, another reason why I think this mail system is not really well developed. But anyway, we don't really have a choice. If we want to be able, to get even more money and even more people, we can do it. One way to do it is to not give both of them. For example, you only give, the regional mail, or you only give local, then that's easier to manage. Let's try to live on the edge and give everything. While this was happening, our sugar has been delivered in the old world, right? We can see the sugar over here. Similarly, the hot sauce hopefully is there. Yes, perfect. We have delivered all of this, and we could also start transporting the mail in the old world. We've always been using mail because we had this small post office. We also have now unlocked these ones. And if you push further in the artisan, you will see the same buildings, in particular the airship platform. Those require once again aluminium, so you just need to sand it over here. And this island over here is producing even more mail, it seems, because we still have a lot of stock, so that's great. Okay, let's send some aluminium to the old world so we can build one, maybe on my capital. That makes more sense. And in the meantime, let's have a look at our dam over here. There's 3 phases. The first phase will only take 60 timber, 90 bricks, 600 jornaleros, and 30 minutes. Let's get started. What is the next production we need to do? The mezcal. It's gonna take some citrus, some sugar. We started making sugar, so that's good. And also some herbs. We cannot do herbs on this island over here. We cannot do it on this island over there either. And we cannot do it on this one either. So we're not very lucky with the herbs. Is there herbs anywhere? There is only herbs on Margaret's big island. Not so big, because we obviously destroyed most of her fleet and everything, but she has rebuilt a bit over here. With the pescatarian mod, though, we can actually make herbs in the old world. It is used for tea. It's only taking farmers, not that bad. So maybe let's do that. Small tip though is always start by the end. How much do we need? Well, we need 4 of the mezcal, right? So let's build 4 of the mezcal and then let's see how much that means in terms of herb gardens. We need 4 and this is 30 seconds, so we should only need 2, but it is always rounded, right? So sometimes it doesn't perfectly work. For example, as you can see, we need a bit more than 4 actually. So we need a third one, or you need to play with, the working condition. Given that our artista were not very happy for now, we're just gonna put another one. So it is, we are producing enough, and now we need to, continue going back, obviously for the herbs, but also for the sugar and for the citrus. This is also 30 seconds, so basically the same number should be fine. We are producing a bit more because we also need for the old world, remember. That means a bit more sugarcane, we can do that after. That means the herbs, but first let's do also the orchard. We're being attacked. Let me check. Diplomacy, yeah, we're back at war with Jean de la Fortune. Let's request a ceasefire quickly so that we can focus on building our things. So yeah, this is like trees, right? It takes quite some space, and I'm actually starting to run out of space on this big island. We haven't optimized it at all, right? So I'm not worried, but let's put it, for example, over here. 1, 2, this is 30 seconds, so 3 should be enough. Okay, and now we can do the same back in the old world. This one is actually a 1 minute production, so we're gonna need a few more. Basically, if you wanted 3, we're gonna need 6, right? Unless we add some items, and in this case, actually, we already have it at plus 50%. Okay, so we select both Manor and the Worker Island, and as you can see, we are producing enough. That's great. We can also check over here for the sugar, by the way. This is also working perfectly. And the citrus, okay, maybe we are missing 1%, but given that we are producing, a lot more than what's needed over here, we should be totally fine. We just need to transport these herbs back to the city. So let's use the route that's already delivering, the sugar and the hot sauce. Well, on the way back, you can take that herb. Perfect. In the meantime, the aluminium has arrived. Let's deliver it. And with that, we can build this beautiful airship platform. Perfect. Build the modules. We only need the air mail over here, actually. So we have a lot of mail. Now let's transport it. I'm gonna put 2 of these because it's quite far, right? Where you need to start on this island, and you're gonna deliver on this one. Right, so you're gonna take some mail, you're gonna deliver it, you're gonna take some mail, you're gonna deliver it. Hopefully that's gonna work pretty well. Then let's do the same on my second island over here, so we can do the transport of mail locally between those two. Right over here, this is fitting nicely. I didn't even plan for it. Oh, it needs to be next to it, I forgot about that. Okay, and with that we can also create a route. This time airship. You're gonna go between this one and that one. Right, you take and you deliver. Perfect. Put 1 airship only on it. Great. So with that, we should be able to start giving over here some regional mail, not overseas for this island, just regional. That's already a good start. And then on this one, actually, we'll be able to do all of them. So we're gonna give it to our investors. you're gonna get some regional and some overseas, which is pretty cool, right? We're talking about 12 investors, 25 investors. That's gonna jump my number one investor and my money if it works well. I don't know if 2 RPs are gonna be enough. That's the main question, but we can test that. And similarly over here, we are going to be able to give, you know, this overseas mail. Not sure we're gonna be able to give it to both, you know, the Jornaleros and the Obreros, but we can start. And over here, we're also talking about 10. That's pretty cool. Okay. So yeah, I think that's gonna jump again. Not that we really need money right now. We're at 40 million almost, but just to make sure that we have enough, you know, in terms of income when we start also having a lot more of ships. If we have a problem somewhere in a city, you know, I'd love for this to not be a problem. With all of this regional mail, we've actually jumped our number of artista. We're now almost at 9,000, which means we've also unlocked the Grand Stadium. 300,000, 150 timber, 300 of reinforced concrete, but it's gonna be worth it, I guarantee you. And we have just the space over here. That's perfect. So let's bring the reinforced concrete from our old world. I love that on the map between our islands, we can even see the airships over here. They're transporting my first, you know, intercontinental mail. Don't know if we've already started actually a regional mail over here. You can always go into routes and, you know, find your route, and then you can click control on the ship, and then you'll see exactly where it is. So it is, I think we just delivered actually the first, yeah, regional mail. So let's see our investor, how they're going to react to this. Ooh, they're loving it. They are loving it. My money is jumping. My number of engineers also jumping. Soon we're going to unlock a bit more influence. Love it. And we should also be soon getting the first delivery over here. The only problem with this is there's only one slot. You know, there's only one airship that can deliver at a time, and the delivery is only 2 tons per second for actual goods. For the mail, it's quite quick, but for goods, it can take a while. Where are those airships? Okay, they are almost there. And here it is. You can see both of them. Let's take a quick look. Our first overseas mail. Done. Yes, that's magnificent. So we have for these Obreros over here pretty much everything. Oh, they do need a lot of things actually. I forgot about this. They would enjoy a beach. Would also these Jornaleros enjoy a beach? Yes, everybody would enjoy the beach. I can understand. So let's put one. Let's extend it with, you know, some sunbed all along the farms. It's totally normal, and along the warehouses. Yeah, makes total sense. Then we put a lot of sand all around just to make it pretty. Kidding. So let's see, are we having a good delivery? Yeah, 100% on this side. 100% on this side. Perfect. 2 more Obreros. Oh, we didn't get money with this one. Interesting. And for this one, yeah, 2 Jornaleros. They would also like a cinema. I don't know if I'm gonna give you that. You know, this is a bit too much. We'll have to see how quickly this is going to go down. To see if we can also give it to these guys. That would be cool to be really able to give them everything. I'd love to do that. Just in case you are worried, I haven't forgotten about the military. We will definitely continue. So while we're at it, let's build over here this cruiser class. And I think it's a good end to this 23rd episode. It does take me quite a bit of time to prepare those episodes, to record them, to edit them so that you have a cool episode. So please take 1 second to smash the like button. Also leave a comment. You have a question, a thought, something you like, something you didn't like in the episode, something you want to see in the next episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And most importantly, I hope to see you next time.